up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute and I do apologize. School has been literally killing me and I apologize for this right here because I look a hot mess, but it is what it is. I know I've been gone for a minute, but as I said already, you know, school has been really tough on me this year and I really haven't had a lot of time to just dedicate to like making videos and things like that. So, you know, most of my free time has either been going towards like me studying or me trying to do something that's completely away from school, that's kind of quick. Like I'll go out for a little bit. Like it's been kind of very sporadic, like random when I've had free time, but for the most part I've just been like studying, and this year has just been a lot. So that's pretty much where I've been. But like I said, it's been a minute since I made a video, and I really just missed like the engagement. I miss seeing the comments. I miss the positive comments and things. So yeah, I decided to stop and make a video because, you know, I haven't done a hump day video in a long time. So we're gonna go ahead and get a hump day video out there. This video is gonna basically be about questions that I would recommend you asking to someone who is a member of a Greek organization that you might be interested in. You know, a lot of times when they have like tabling events or these seminars where they're just asking you to ask questions, a lot of times people don't know what's considered appropriate and what's not considered appropriate. So what I'm gonna do is basically tell you some questions that I would recommend asking and questions that I would for sure tell you not to ask. And the reason why I would tell you not to ask is because not every Greek that you meet will be responsive in the way that you might expect them to be, and because of that it may lead you to think that they might be rude and have, you know, attitudes and things like that, but the real reason might not be that. It might just be because like they're trying to be protective of their Greek culture, and they're not wanting to give too much information out to somebody that might not actually become a member. So these questions will kind of help you steer the conversation in the right way, and hopefully you can take some of these and, you know, take them with you for if you're going to like a tabling event or something of that sort. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. All right, so I think I might start with the questions not to ask first, and then I'll go ahead and lead into the questions that I would recommend you asking, just because I think it'll be a little easier to understand the reason why I say you should ask certain questions after explaining why I think you shouldn't ask certain questions. All right, so the very first question I would recommend for you to not ask, and this is a question that people ask me a lot, is how much did you pay? That is one of the most invasive questions you can ask, because I get it, you're interested in knowing how much it costs to join an organization. Orgs prices vary, chapters prices vary, lines prices vary. What I paid to join will not be exactly what the next person paid to join. Like what I paid to join, I don't think is even what my immediate neos paid to join. So I can't tell you how much I paid. So don't direct that question to that person specifically if you're wanting to ask about cost. So if you're wanting to ask about cost specifically, I would recommend asking something like, how much could I expect to have saved? That way that person can tell you like a guesstimate of, oh, you know, you might need about $500 or you might need $2,000. Like it'll range, but at least that person won't tell you, like you're not asking that person specifically, because that can lead to somebody having an attitude towards you when responding. So it's very particular, but I've seen it happen before, and it's a lot easier if you're asking, making it personal, like how much would I have to expect to have saved or something like that, in comparison to just a straight up how much you paid. Like that's yeah, no. The next question that I would recommend that you do not ask is, what did you do during your process? The reason why I say this is because the first key to being Greek is discretion. Practicing discretion, you'll hear that a lot. So people aren't typically going to be willing or open to telling you what happened in their process. If someone asks me what happened in my process, my response is typically, that's my process. What I did is what I did, and what you do is not going to be what I do or I have done. So I wouldn't recommend asking that question because it can lead to something that you completely didn't even intend. So kind of steer clear of that question. Yeah, don't do that. I would also recommend for you to not ask is it like the movies? So, you know, there's Stump the Yard, which pretty much was a movie about, I guess they showed the brotherhood to a certain extent. You know, he had to go through losing his brother, and he kind of found brothers in the school and things of that sort. I can see that, but my experience has not been like Stump the Yard in my organization. You also have School Days, which is a good movie. I enjoy watching School Days, just like I enjoy watching Stump the Yard, but I don't think that those are an accurate depiction of Greek life or what you should expect. And you guys already know my opinion on Burning Sands. I know. So a lot of movies, I don't think that they are accurate depictions of what you can expect from Greek life. But I do understand why people would kind of think that they might be similar or something of that sort. But just no, no, it's not like the movies. So don't waste your time asking, because I'm telling you now, it's not like the movies. If that's what you're looking to join for, I mean, they do have like step teams if you're wanting the more Stump the Yard experience. School Days, I mean, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it with School Days. Burning Sands, I mean, I don't know if any of y'all want that experience. I mean, because they didn't learn anything. So no. So the next one is how do I get recruited? So MPHC does not recruit. We have Rush, where you show your interest, but we don't actually actively recruit new members, because as I've said before, the orgs don't search for us. We look for the orgs, because these orgs are already established. They're gonna flourish with or without us. So as far as us just having to go out and say, I want you, or I think you will be a good member, I mean, typically that won't happen unless it's like a legacy or something of that sort. Like, we don't actually go out and be like, I want you, and I'm gonna bring you back, and I'm gonna put you in my pocket, and you're gonna become a member of this organization. That doesn't happen. So don't necessarily ask how you can be recruited. I think it's better for you to go in and show what should make them select you once you show your interest. So after you're showing your interest, or during the process of you showing your interest, tell me exactly why I should pick you. Tell me what makes you stand out from the other 50 million people that probably have applied for this organization. Tell me what makes you better than me to be a member of my organization. So figure out how to make yourself stand out. Don't necessarily ask, how can I be recruited? Your goal should not be to just have them pick you. Your goal should be to make you stand out, to make it to where you are the best. You are the best candidate that they could pick from. Like, make it easy for them to pick you. Make it not to be a question like, do I probably want her? Like, no, make it to where they have to pick you. Another thing that I absolutely hate, this probably bothers me even more than the how much did you pay thing. Never walk up to somebody if they're at a table, or even if you just see them with their paraphernalia on, and say, what made you choose this organization because you seem more like a insert organization here? Don't do that. That's rude. That is so rude, because it's like, I would never talk down on another organization, because each organization has amazing qualities. They have amazing members. Like, I have literally met somebody from each D9 organization, and I've been impressed by the person. I'm like, dang, you are a great representation of what your organization stands for. So I don't think the stereotypes are acceptable, and I don't think it's fair. One thing I don't like is when somebody will come up to you and be like I've never personally gotten it, but I've heard it before. Like, somebody will come up to a soror of mine and be like, you seem more like a da-da-da-da. Like, what is that even? Why was that even your thought process? Because my personality doesn't make me or break me in this organization. Like, I have my own qualities that I put forward in this organization, and this organization has certain things that stood out to me that made it seem like the best option for me. So for you to say that I don't seem like I should be a member of this organization because I am whatever, like, that's crazy. So never walk up to somebody at a Rush event, or just even in passing, and be like, you seem like you should have did this. Are you sure that why was that your option? Like, don't do that. That's not nice. And the last no question that I have is, what type of parties do y'all throw? Parties should not be of your concern. I feel like the social aspect of it will be there regardless. Believe it or not, your 3 letters that you gain once you become a member of the organization in undergrad, they mean a lot. Even in, you know, grad, you know, it still means a lot. So the social aspect will always be there. I don't think that should be a question that you're leading with. I think there are other questions that have more standing, and that you'll be able to kind of gauge a little better and more if you ask those questions earlier on, instead of asking something as minute as what kind of parties do y'all have. Like that's crazy to me. Anyway though, that's enough of the negative Nancy. And I know a lot of people will sometimes come in my comments and they'll be like, you know, y'all act like y'all are holier than thou. No, it's just that people sometimes, I got hair in my arm, for some reason people tend to treat people that are in Greek organizations like they're gods, or like, nah, oh my god, they're amazing. Like, no, we're just like you. So we're human, we have responses, we have reflexes. Like, so when people ask us certain questions that don't come off the right way to us, sometimes we'll have an attitude towards it, and it's because we've been asked questions like this all the time. So now our defenses are up. So just try not to ask these type of questions if you can. Try to avoid them. But these are some questions that I think you should ask, just so you have a clear understanding of what the organization is that you're looking to join, and you can find out a little bit more about that member in particular. So the first question that I would ask, this is a question that I even ask in like job interviews. So my question would be, why did you join your organization? So kind of see where that person's mindset is and understand whether or not you guys are kind of on the same page. See if they joined because they wanted to see what the organization could give to them, or if they joined because they understand that the organization is bigger than them and wanted to contribute to something that's bigger than them, and see how they can make changes and things like that. Like, see what kind of page they're on, and that'll kind of give you an idea. Because if this person is interviewing you, or this person is a representative of the organization, that kind of reflects the mind state of a lot of the chapter members of the organization too. So you can find out a lot about an org as a whole by talking to one person in particular. So that's something to keep in mind. The next thing that I would ask is like, what are some of your target programs? So every organization has different goals. So like for my organization right now, I want to say we have a new initiative for walking. So that's one of our big goals, like a healthy start, a healthy heart, and all that good stuff. We also have an initiative, like we've always been very big on college. I believe we're still doing the HBCU thing, but we're really big on academia. We're also, I want to say, incorporating the arts now. So figure out what the organization is and what they stand for. A lot of this information you can actually find online. Like, all of our targets are available online, and I want to say that it's the same for every organization. However, hearing it from the member lets you know whether or not they have actually done their research, you know, whether or not they know what they're telling you about. The reason why it's kind of, I got constitutional law in my brain right now, so everything else is just kind of out the window. But talk to them about not only their organization-wide goals, but also see if they have any chapter-specific goals that they have. Like my chapter specifically, we have a backpack challenge that we do, where we you know, get a whole bunch of backpacks and give them to, you know, underprivileged youth and things like that. So see what they have going on for them and figure out if that also is something that you would see yourself being involved in. An important question that you should ask is, how much of a time commitment is this organization for you, for that member? Because that'll also let you know whether or not this person is, I don't want to say worthy of giving you information, but them telling you how much time they put into the organization is kind of like a red flag. It lets you know whether or not the organization is doing a lot of work, or if they just kind of chilling by the wayside. So that's the question that I would definitely recommend asking, because you can find out so much just by asking like, how much time do you spend doing this? And that'll kind of let you know whether or not there's something that you want to do right now, or if it's something that you might want to wait and see if you have another opportunity for later in life, because these organizations are time commitments. But so bigger organizations or bigger chapters have more people to kind of execute different events. So you know, the president will be able to delegate to more people. Smaller chapters, however, it's going to be a bigger time commitment. Like the chapter that I came from was, at some points they were even operating with like 2 and 3 people as the whole chapter. So of course it was a whole bunch of people. It was a whole bunch of time commitment for those particular people, especially when they're calculating like doing rush and having events and hosting events and still making sure that they're keeping up with their grades and stuff like that. So it's like a lot of time commitment. So that's a question that you kind of want to know going in early on. So, and then to piggyback off of that, kind of you want to ask like, how do you manage your time? How do you balance between sorority and then your personal life, and then you still have to add school on top of that? Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all here to get degrees. You know, we're not just here to party and join organizations. No, we're here to, you know, see the end of the tunnel. Our goal is our degrees, right? So you want to make sure that you're asking, you know, how do you manage between, you know, going to these events, planning these events, and still making sure that you have time to, you know, live your life, live your best life, and then also that you're able to, you know, keep your grades up. Because, I mean, you want to graduate with good grades, because, you know, when you have to turn your transcript in for a job, it's like, you must have crossed in spring, blah, blah, blah. Because your grades are reflecting that, and from there it's just been down, down, down. Like, you don't want to be that person. So you definitely want to see, just so you know what to expect. Also, I recommend asking what could I expect to learn from the organization? And I think this is a big one, and this is going to be the last question that I have, but asking what you can expect from the organization kind of, again, gives you an idea of what that person's mindset is, because judging based off of their answer, it'll again give you an insight on what to expect from the chapter, what to expect from your experience. Because of course we want to learn about the sisterhood or the brotherhood, or we want to learn about, you know, our founders and things like that. But what are you learning towards like your everyday life? Like, is this going to teach me how to network? Is this going to teach me how to manage money? Is it going to teach me how to, you know, become a candidate for president? Is it going to help to like mold me to be like a president, you know, nationally or something like that? Like, what am I going to learn from this organization, and what am I going to get from it? Not just partying, not just being able to say that I'm a member of this organization, but like, what are you actually going to get from this? So I hope those few tips helped you out. I'm gonna try my hardest to make more videos, but y'all, it's life is hard right now. Like, when I do my little update, like I've literally been going through a lot, y'all, and it's not even just academics. Like, school has been stressing me out. Like, I have so much going on, and I want to talk about it, but I'm not even sure if I could talk about it right now. Like, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, so thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try to make my next one sooner. I promise. We're gonna see about that, because that sounds good, but you know, execution be a whole different thing. All right, so thanks for watching again. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.